Behavior change can be a really daunting task. If you're like me, making lasting change might be met with obstacles and struggles. But there's hope. I'm going to share 3 neurohacks that we can use to rewire our brains and 6 tips for effective habit formation. Combining all of this will actually help you change your behavior long term. If you're new here, hi, I'm Megha. I'm a full time attorney and parent. So, time management and productivity are crucial to my survival. I share tips and tricks on what works for me to show up as a full person at work and for my family and also for myself so that I can be a whole, well rounded, fulfilled individual. I make videos synthesizing a lot of the research that I've done to help you live your most optimal life. If that's of interest to you, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Sometimes we just need more than willpower to make it through. By hacking our brains to automate behavior, we're using effective, scientifically backed strategies to help us on the days where willpower just isn't enough. Traditional approaches that rely on determination alone are often exhausting and unsustainable in the long term. The ego depletion theory suggests that we have a limited number of internal resources. So the more that we can automate behavior, the less likely we are to have to expend any significant amount of energy to completing a task or building a habit. Professor Roy Baumeister is a leading self-control researcher, and he likens willpower to a muscle. The more you exercise it and practice it, the stronger it becomes. Neurohacks are techniques that influence behavior by changing perception or identity. They're really powerful tools to help align our behavior to our ideal perceived self-image. Rewiring your brain can be such a game changer, especially if you're someone like me who is an incredibly busy professional and also has a very busy family life. It can help you make sure that you prioritize and make time for the things that are important to you to be a full, whole person. I will say though, consistency is going to play a really key role here. By consistently engaging in desired behaviors, we're so much more likely to maintain them over time as compared to abrupt changes. Recognizing the importance of consistency and acknowledging the influences of identity formation through past experiences helps us make lasting changes for improved work-life balance and more productivity in our lives. I've personally relied on 3 specific types of neurohacks that I'll share with you today: behavioral, physical, and speech. One really effective approach to neurohacking is through behavioral change that redefines your personal identity. By setting new goals and adopting habits that align with our self-perception, or at least your desired self-perception, we can gradually begin to transform our behaviors. It's a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy idea here. For example, let's say you want to be a more organized, productive individual. Think about what that means to you. What does an organized, productive person do? What habits do they have? Then start small by incorporating small daily changes in your day-to-day practice. Maybe it's taking an extra 5 minutes in the morning to plan out your tasks for the day, or engaging in time blocking so that you have specific focus time to get things done during the day. Over time, like I said, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and consistently engaging in these actions helps reshape your view of yourself as an organized and productive individual, such that doing those tasks will become more automatic and you'll have less internal energy that you need to expend to engage in those activities. The second neurohack is physical. Research has shown that physical movement has such a profound impact on cognitive processes and behavior. So yes, I'm talking about things like exercising regularly, whether that's yoga or dancing or going for a run. But it's even more than that. Research has shown that even simple body movements like shaking your head no, or nodding your head yes, or smiling in the face of something you really don't want to do can influence your reaction to a particular task, or can influence agreement or disagreement with a particular comment. For example, for me, I am a distance runner and I hate running uphill. So, one thing that I've started doing is as the miles get longer or as I come up on a hill, I force myself to smile and create a bit of cognitive dissonance. So, the more that I smile through these tasks, I'm rewiring my neural pathways to trick myself into thinking I don't hate it quite as much as I think I do. It also, I've noticed, makes me less focused on how I dislike the activity that I'm doing. Language plays such a crucial role in shaping our thoughts and actions. Studies have demonstrated how subtle changes in speech affect self perception and behavior. For example, language emphasizing being a voter as opposed to the act of voting creates a much stronger sense of identity around civic engagement. These small shifts in wording have been proven to positively influence a person's motivation to take action that is consistent and aligned with their perceived self identity. By understanding the power of language and speech and using words intentionally, we can hack our brains for lasting behavioral change. Habits also play a really key role in our day to day lives and influencing and shaping who we are. I think the science behind habit formation and neural pathways is so interesting and provides such valuable insights into how we can really effectively form habits that last. Research done by the Dartmouth University focused on the neural mechanisms and habit formation. Unsurprisingly, they did reveal that habits are reinforced through repetition. But what's really interesting about it is that they discovered that there's this part of our brain called the dorsolateral striatum that plays a really crucial role in habit formation. This area of the brain is responsible for reward based learning and decision making processes. As we repeat behaviors, activity in that region of the brain increases, reinforcing the connection between cue, action, and reward associated with those behaviors. By understanding the science behind how our brains form habits, we can try to use that information and leverage it to be strategic and target those circuits to facilitate long lasting behavioral change. In addition to those 3 neurohacks, there are 6 tips for effective habit formation. I'd recommend you read James Clear's Atomic Habits and Charles Duhigg's The Power of Habit, but I'll synthesize the key points here for you in these 6 strategic habit formation tips. But I'll distill down the key points for you from both of their books to help you build an effective system of habit creation. As Charles Duhigg put it, once a pattern is formed, decision making related to that habit slows down and eventually stops. Tip 1, identify the specific habit that you're looking to build. Think about that ideal self image, that ideal version of yourself that you want to be, and think about the habits that that person has. Let's take the example of incorporating some sort of daily exercise into your routine. This could be as simple as going for a 30-minute walk every morning. Maybe over time you expand that from a 30-minute walk to a 30-minute walk jog or jog run. Maybe you expand the amount of time that you spend doing that exercise. But either way, you can start small and work towards whatever your long-term overall goal is. That leads into tip number 2. Start small and be consistent. Starting small actually allows you to be consistent and remove some of the obstacles to actually doing the thing that it is that you want to do, which makes it a lot easier to be consistent in doing it day after day. So rather than aiming to do an intense workout every morning, if you're not doing anything at all, start instead by maybe doing a 10-minute walk a day. Because consistency is key here, make sure that this is a non-negotiable part of your day every day. One of the key takeaways from James Clear's Atomic Habits is the power of small changes. He emphasizes that making tiny changes to our habits can lead to remarkable changes over a long period of time. Instead of focusing on radical changes, adopt a 1% improvement mindset consistently. Aim to be 1% better every day. Tip number 3 is connecting the habit to a cue. Associating a new habit with an existing cue helps reinforce that behavior. For example, if you already have a daily routine of making coffee in the morning, use that as your cue to remind you to go for a 10-minute walk immediately after you make your coffee every single morning. Charles Duhigg talks about a habit loop, which consists of a cue, a routine, and a reward. Understanding this loop helps us to identify and change our habits effectively. James Clear takes this idea one step further by introducing the idea of a craving and making it a crucial part of the habit loop. Recognizing the cues, understanding the routine, and finding satisfying rewards are all essential steps in habit formation and modification. Atomic Habits also talks about this idea of habit stacking. By attaching the new habit to an existing habit, you make it so much more likely to actually stick. Again, it's all about trying to automate the processes, automate it so that your brain doesn't have to expend additional energy to make you do the thing it is that you want to do. Additionally, both the Power of Habit and Atomic Habits really focus on the importance of designing your environment to support positive habits. By tweaking your surroundings, you can foster an environment that propels you towards success. Tip 4 is to remove as many obstacles as you can to accomplishing the habit that you want to accomplish. When you're attaching a cue to a routine and a reward, think about what obstacles might arise and how you might be able to overcome them. Reducing friction makes it infinitely more likely that you'll consistently follow through on the habit you're forming. For example, if you're planning on going for a walk in the morning after you make your morning coffee, maybe lay out your workout clothes the night before. So you're reducing the friction of having to go select them in the morning. I'll be honest with you, that isn't enough for me. I like to work out in the mornings, but something about having to change in the morning into my workout clothes introduces just enough friction to allow my brain time to think about whether or not I really feel like working out that morning, or maybe I want to take a rest day. But if I sleep in my workout clothes, I'm ready to go, and there's not enough time for my brain to make excuses as to why I shouldn't go work out. So when I sleep in my workout clothes, it's so much easier for me to brush my teeth and immediately go work out right after. Tip number 5 is to use positive reinforcement. Rewarding yourself for completing a habit reinforces its importance and motivates you to continue it. It doesn't have to be something you do every day long term, but it is something that will be helpful for you to do in the short term until this habit or this behavior becomes an automated part of your day-to-day process. Finally, tip 6 is to seek accountability and support. Having someone hold you accountable and provide support can significantly increase your chances of success. Find a walking buddy or join a community of like-minded individuals who are also looking to incorporate exercise into their lives daily. I know for myself, I am so much more likely if I have told somebody that I'm going to do something to follow through on it, because I don't want to have to go back to them and tell them that I didn't do it for whatever reason. By following these 6 steps and adapting them to your specific habit, you can establish long-term behavioral change. Comment below what the habit that you're looking to form. What cue can you attach that behavior to? What obstacles do you think might be in the way? By understanding the science behind how our brains work and how we can hack our brains to bring us closer to the best version of ourselves is so empowering. But remember that lasting behavioral change does take time. It requires consistency and dedication. But we're well on our way to being the most optimal versions of ourselves. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. I think it really helps me. Thanks for being here.